everyone. Welcome back to Truly Chilling. I'm your host, Jamie Mitchell. Welcome back to my co-host, Drew. How you doing today, bae?
Feeling pretty good. As usual, I'm glad to be here. And yeah, thanks for having me, James.
Heck yeah. Thank you guys for being here, whether you guys are on audio version or YouTube. We appreciate you guys a lot.
For sure.
Today, as we're recording this, we're getting into December. It's Christmas month.
Get them holiday vibes going here for you guys. I'm wearing a Simpsons sweater, the old Walmart special, but picked out a ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Got the duff.
And I got some new Grinch pajamas the other day, so freaking excited.
Vibing it.
Yes. So it's insane how quickly time has been flying by too lately. Like, it seems like it was just October and we are talking about, like, spooky season and everything. And now it's Christmas and we're talking about the holidays.
Time flies.
Yeah. But with December being here and everything, I thought that we would do a case based around the Christmas season today.
Yeah.
And this is a different level of truly chilling, honestly. When we think about Christmas, we tend to think about happy and joyful memories, unwrapping Christmas gifts with the family, eating yummy foods, looking at Christmas lights, drinking hot cocoa.
All the good stuff.
Christmas is just generally one of the happiest times of the year. However, when it comes to this joyful season, there are, of course, instances where this happy holiday takes a turn for the worst. And when it comes to true crime cases that take place over the holiday season, these cases have a uniquely eerie feel to them. Like I said, it's just weird, like, to imagine something so horrible happening on Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there is some messed up people out there. Not all people out there are as good as you and I, and there's people out there that pretend to be good, and I've been telling my homies and stuff and my family that you got to remember that as much as you don't want to believe it, there's like a ton of evil people out there, and it's
so true.
Yeah.
And people will pick the most like evil times to do evil things.
That's why I think in history they have good and evil, like gods and demons, and in like movies there's like the superhero and the evil villain. Because it's just like that.
Yeah, there's just so much evil out there.
Yeah, like... dude, I know there's a ton of evil out there, man. It comes from me. I ain't gonna let it, though.
Yeah, so over the next couple of weeks into the holiday season, we're going to be talking about some truly chilling cases that take place over the holidays. And before we get into that, you have a little disclaimer you want to mention about...
Oh, yeah.
The lighting.
Yeah, the lighting in here. We noticed the window right there, which is kind of an amateur mistake, really, for podcasting.
Yeah, we should have it completely the other way, be using the natural light to our advantage.
And when she said disclaimer, I just kind of want to mention that we are actively trying to iron out the wrinkles and evolve the podcast. If anyone's...
Always.
Yeah, so we're going to
still very new,
yeah,
so...
We're focused on consistency, but each time we're going to try to bump it up one more notch,
So just a little thing we wanted to mention before we get into it, because I feel like you guys might notice it if you're watching on YouTube, like just the fact that the window is literally right behind us.
Some people probably don't mind it, but
no, but
if there's any
just
people...
me being from YouTube, I'm like, oh, we should be using that like natural lighting, so like towards us, you know what I mean?
With the camera instead of against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we noticed that and wanted to mention it before we get into it, but... So the case I have prepared for today is honestly one of the most horrific cases I've ever personally read about. Like, it's horrible.
And I have no idea what she's talking about either, just for the record.
He never really does. I usually research the cases and then we try to come into it with like a blind eye sort of thing. Like, he's more of a viewer.
Yeah, I'm like the viewer perspective.
Learning about it with you guys.
But I'm going to also try to add some context and try to, if there was any point where the viewer would probably feel the need to interject and ask a question. I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah.
But
so on Christmas morning in 2011, 56-year-old Aziz Yandanapanah arrived at his family's Christmas celebration dressed in a Santa suit I'll start that over.
Yep.
On Christmas morning in 2011, 56-year-old Aziz Yandanapanah arrived at his family's Christmas celebration dressed in a Santa suit. The family sat around the tree, opened presents, before Aziz shot and killed all 6 members of his family before shooting and killing himself.
Jeez.
So, yeah, on Christmas? On Christmas Day. They all sat around the tree, opened presents, and this apparently happened.
Yeah, and he killed himself because he knew
were opening presents.
He knew that someone else would probably do it.
Yeah, so
he's a piece of shit.
So this case obviously shocks everyone who hears about it, and I mean, honestly, this is, like I said, one of the most horrible cases that I've personally researched, but I felt the need to cover this and bring awareness to the case, and obviously it's just very intriguing as well.
Yeah, condolences to the family. We're not, hopefully we don't say anything that offends you if you're watching. We're just trying to, spread some light, and people like this need to be brought to justice.
Yes.
That's why that's why he killed himself, because he knew that someone would have brought him to justice.
Exactly.
He's evil.
Yeah, and that's just, like I said, one of the most evil things you can do, in my opinion. Like, when your family's around the Christmas tree,
what is
opening
with that?
Their Christmas presents, like, it's just horrible.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So, before we start, I also have my own little disclaimer, because a lot of these names are extremely hard to pronounce, honestly. Like, I've done my research, and I've Googled, and I've listened to different pronunciations and tried so hard, but
some names from different areas are different.
Naturally, I might mess them up, and my apologies if that happens. I'm trying so hard to be as respectful as I can, but
that's okay.
It might happen. So, so this case starts with a man named Aziz Yandanapanah, who was often referred to by his friends actually as Bob.
Because his name is difficult to say.
Yeah. Aziz was 56 years old at the time of this case in 2011, and I could not find an exact date or even a year actually, but at some point Aziz met and married a young woman named Fatimeh. Sorry. Like I said, really hard to pronounce.
Fatimeh.
Commonly known as Nazrin, which is easier for me to pronounce, so I'm going to refer to her as Nazrin. Together, the couple had 2 children, a girl named Nona and a boy named Ali. In 1996, Aziz was placed on 3 years of probation after pleading guilty to 1 count of filing a false income tax return. He was fined $1,000 and was required to pay over $30,000 in restitution. Is that what it is?
Yeah, probably.
Restitution.
Probably. Wait, how the hell? So, did he fraud $30,000?
I'm guessing, yeah.
How do you even get that much? He must be working in a huge tax bracket.
Yeah.
Or something, but I don't even know.
Yeah, and this is when his financial issues obviously really began. 3 years later, Aziz and his wife, they filed for bankruptcy, and in which this case was discharged within a matter of months. But afterwards, Aziz had worked in mortgages and real estate. He had gotten himself back up on his feet a little bit until 2007 when he stopped working in the mortgage and real estate business. After Aziz stopped working in mortgage, this is when the family's financial issues really intensified again. And this also began to put a huge damper on the marriage. They started having more issues within their relationship, and it obviously started becoming really difficult on the children as well.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of Nazrin's would later state how Aziz apparently also had forbid his wife from working, even though she held a cosmetology license, which she worked really hard to get this, and I can't imagine, like, working that hard.
Super controlling.
Yeah, to go through and get a cosmetology license, too. Like, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of schooling.
That is a lot of time and work and dedication just to get to that point.
And then your husband, like, forbids you from being able to pursue that, so... However, Aziz was out of the mortgage business and they were broke, so Nazrin got 2 jobs working at 2 different spas. She finally began working and being able to use her cosmetology license.
Dope.
So I just can't imagine working that hard for something and then not being able to use it for so long. So thank goodness she was able to.
Yeah.
But Nazrin, she was also known to be a very private woman. She did not share a lot of her personal life with the people around her. During the time that Nazrin was working at the salons, a coworker who was particularly close with her said she had multiple conversations with Nazrin about her relationship with Aziz and about how he was just not providing for his family as per his Muslim responsibility. And I would say this is when things really started to shift for Nazrin, when she started working for herself again and had 2 jobs and trying to provide for herself and her children.
Right.
This is when she really began feeling like she no longer had interest in really being with Aziz.
She's an independent woman.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she was working 2 jobs to keep the family going. Aziz was not really working or providing. I mean, like he had previously as well.
Yeah.
She was confiding in close friends about her feelings regarding this. I mean, I would say she was just starting to get to the end of the relationship. So in 2010, Nazrin filed for bankruptcy and told her lawyer that she hoped that this would save her from foreclosure of the home. And in the middle of filing for bankruptcy, she decided to separate from Aziz. So obviously, like I said, a lot of this reasoning for the separation was the fact that he was just not providing for the family. Nazrin's brother helped Nazrin out of the relationship and out of her home that she shared with Aziz during this time by fronting her money so that she was able to get her own apartment for her and the children. Which honestly also says a lot, not only about how she had a good family around her, but also clearly her family wanted to help her out of this relationship with Aziz to be fronting her money for an apartment. And,
yeah, he's not someone they're trying to fight to keep around.
Yeah. So the children at this time as well, they were obviously not doing the greatest. I mean, all the financial struggles were obviously affecting the children as well. So I'm sure that was a huge motivator too for her brother to want to help them out.
Yeah.
It was generally just a really hard time during the time that Aziz and Nazrin were together, so it seemed like everyone felt that it was best for them to separate. So she moved into her new apartment in April, and Nazrin was finally finding her independence. She was doing really well. She owned a salon and was doing really good taking care of the children. However, Aziz, of course, he did not like knowing that Nazrin was able to support herself, and he did not like knowing that she was okay without him.
Yeah. That is kind of weird considering he wasn't doing the providing anyway.
Yeah, and now he's
Who's going to do it? Doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. He would still come over often, though, to the new apartment. He was actually given a key so that he could still come and visit his son frequently. And he would often just show up and visit, that kind of thing. So it didn't seem like they were on, like, terrible terms or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were living separately and they were separated. So during this time, Aziz was also having conversations with his own friends about his relationship issues. He reportedly had told a friend that he felt as though his sister-in-law, so Nazrin's sister, was interfering with his marriage. He also told another friend that he felt as though his sister-in-law had control over his wife and children and would listen when she would call him evil. So he basically just thinks like it's Nazrin's sister kind of getting in her head vibes.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I think more or less he like wasn't providing and she just eventually got to the point where she wanted to leave. But so he clearly thought that, like I said, Nazrin's sister was a huge influence into their separation and wanted to blame it on her. So anyway, right before Christmas Eve, Aziz spoke to a friend and told them that he was going to a Christmas Eve party hosted by Nazrin's sister. Mm-hmm. Christmas Eve came around, though, and Nazrin and the children went to the Christmas Eve party at the family ranch. Aziz, however, was not invited to this party.
No, fuck him.
So they must have uninvited him last minute, though, or something, perhaps, because, like I said, he was speaking to a friend mentioning that he was planning on going, so...
Yeah, but, yeah.
Maybe he just assumed...
He's kind of weird.
Maybe he just assumed he would be invited because he had been married up until this point and had went to every single one of their family things, but obviously he was not invited.
He was cut off.
Yeah, so... We know that the family had the Christmas Eve party without Aziz that night, and friends would later come forward and say that this definitely would have really hurt and affected Aziz. It could have really just been like a breaking point. And the next morning, Christmas morning, the kids and Nazrin woke up to open presents and, you know, just do their Christmas morning thing as a family. Aziz dressed up as Santa Claus and went over to the apartment. He arrived at the apartment shortly before 11 a.m., and he was apparently welcomed into the apartment because he seemed to be calm and in a good mood. A few moments later, Nazrin's sister, whose name was Zohra, and her husband Mohammed also arrived, along with their daughter Sarah. So there were 7 family members there in total. And Sarah texted her friend when she got there to the apartment saying, "So, we're here, we just got here, and my uncle is here too, dressed as Santa. Awesome." About 15 minutes later, she sent another text message that read, "Now he wants to be all fatherly and win Father of the Year." So clearly nobody really seemed thrilled about having him there.
No one wants him there.
His niece was like texting her friends, being like, "Oh God, like my uncle's here dressed as Santa." Like,
just putting up with him or whatever. Yeah.
So unfortunately, though, moments after this text message was sent, Aziz would pull out a gun and begin shooting the entire family. Around 11:34 a.m., 911 received a call in which the operator reported hearing heavy breathing for a moment and then hearing someone whisper, "Help." I'm shooting people. And then they hung up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's truly chilling if I do say so.
That is.
Yeah, so after this 911 call, police were dispatched to the scene to do a welfare check. Also, can I just say, like, this is Christmas Day. Imagine being...
Dressed as Santa Claus.
Imagine being also just the 911 responders, though. Like, that's so terrible. Like, going into that scene also as a police officer, like, on Christmas Day, you know what I mean? Seeing this, that would be so traumatizing and, like, just terrible for everyone involved.
This guy, what's his name?
I just feel so deeply. Aziz Yandanapanah.
So fuck him. Aziz Yandanapanah.
Puma.
This is your legacy, Aziz Yandanapanah. No one fucks with you.
Oh my god.
Anyway, just had to say that.
Yeah, so when the police arrived to the scene, they found all 6 members of the family, including Aziz, dead in the apartment. And this is the little detail that really gets me. The Christmas gifts, they were half unopened, wrapping paper on the floor, showing that this had clearly occurred while the family was opening their Christmas gifts. Yeah. And that's just, like, sends chills all up my body. Yeah. Like, that's because just the worst moment.
It's because psychologically, I would say it's like if he's that fucked up, that was the point where he was gonna, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? He probably felt the most, like, I don't know.
That's just gut-wrenching. Like,
you know, you ever feel like shitty on Christmas because it's like a shitty Christmas?
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm saying. Like, he was, it's like
that's the build-up point or whatever, when everyone's, like, opening presents.
I'm not excusing him at all. He's
well, no, fucked. It's just, like, the psychology.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Weird.
It's gut-wrenching. Like, that's the worst moment, I feel like, ever. Like, to fucking...
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, so, like
that's why he killed himself.
I told you guys this was honestly probably one of the worst cases that I've looked into. Then. Yeah, and then he killed himself after shooting everyone else.
He called 911.
Yeah, he must have called 911, I would say, when he was maybe on the floor, maybe after he shot himself, wasn't dead or something, and said, help, I'm shooting people, or maybe in the middle of it, he called, because I said it was like a whisper, it was just like it was like a muffled, like, help.
And everyone
then, like,
died.
I'm shooting people. Yeah, everyone died, including Aziz. So, 7 people died. His
entire family.
Yeah, his niece, his sister-in-law, his ex-wife, his 2 children, and his sister-in-law's husband.
Jeez.
And himself. Yeah. So, another chilling detail of this case is police say that before killing himself, Aziz actually tried to stage the scene by placing one of the 2 guns beside Muhammad. So he actually tried to frame his sister-in-law's husband for this.
Yeah.
Literally had the nerve to try to frame someone, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then killed himself, so...
Yeah.
However, obviously...
He knew he wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah, and obviously
police... He knew he would never get away with it. He knew.
And obviously police knew that this was not truly the case. They were not at all fooled by this setup. I mean, Muhammad had been shot with both of the guns found at the scene, and Aziz was found with a gun in his hand and had shot both of the guns. So it just... The setup did not, work out, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So police believed Aziz got overwhelmed after realizing what he had done to the family and then tried setting up Muhammad before then eventually just deciding to kill himself. Fucked up.
Well, I'm glad he killed himself, but that's so fucked up. I feel so bad.
I know. That whole family lost their lives.
I feel so bad. That's so sad. It's tragic, man.
So for detectives,
on Christmas,
yeah, on Christmas Day, like Christmas morning, opening presents on Christmas morning, like that's gut-wrenching.
And like I said earlier, it don't matter what the psychology, that just makes it worse.
No,
that just made it worse.
So for detectives during the investigation, determining motive was obviously huge. Everyone wants to know ultimately why someone would do this on Christmas Day, why someone would kill their family. And there's never really exactly clear answer for this type of pure evil. We may never truly know exactly why he did this. Why
that would affect everybody that they know. Everyone that they have on Facebook, everyone that they know in that town, that would just ruin everyone's Christmas. That would ruin the whole town. The whole town's Christmas.
Oh, exactly.
The whole town. Like, You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, and that's what I mean. Like, think of the police officers, too. Everyone involved in this case. Like, I feel
ruined
so
their whole
bad.
Christmas.
Like, yeah, like, police
asshole.
officers working on Christmas. Like, clearly they probably want to be with their families,
the
too,
911
anyway. But then,
people, everyone that had to deal with that trauma when they're just like...
anyone, like, dealing with that and
the whole
involved,
town would have to deal with that kind of thing.
That's just horrible, dude. Like I said, probably one of the most horrible cases I've personally ever researched, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, we may never truly know, like I said, why he did this, but people say that obviously his marital and financial problems probably were the main things. He just could not seem to stand the thought of his wife living a happy life without him.
Maybe she was going to leave him for someone else or something.
Yeah, well, what can you do? Like, he also clearly believed that his sister-in-law, Nazrin's sister, was getting in between the relationship and causing issues, which was another motive, and maybe also why he picked a time when they were all together, when she was there, because he thought that she was had something to do with all this. Yeah. All in all, 6 people lost their lives that day, and obviously in no way deserved any of this. On Christmas Day, a day that is supposed to be filled with so much love and joy and family, and something so tragic happens. Yeah. It's just, like I said, some of the details just really sicken me.
The fact that he was dressed up as Santa Claus. And it's also just
like, why dress up? You dress up as Santa Claus. It's almost like a one last way to trick the family of thinking you're coming into the house all holly jolly and like trying to have a good Christmas with your family, like dressed up as Santa, you know what I mean? But it's like...
Well, yeah, because you brought a gun.
Yeah. It's like...
I mean, the concealed carry and stuff, like, but like... In protecting yourself, people sometimes don't care about the law. They just carry a gun. But he went to his family's house, dressed up as Santa, with a gun. I don't know why you'd need to protect yourself on Christmas Day dressed up as Santa. He obviously went there to kill them. Yeah. Just saying.
It's just, like we said, it's just the little details in this, I think, that make it all the more just, like, gut-wrenching. Like, dressing up as Santa, the fact that they were opening presents. Yeah. All of it. Like...
Yep.
But I don't
just
know.
One of those people that likes hurting people, probably.
Yeah.
Mad because what they wouldn't do and give him what he wants, and they make him look bad or make him feel bad, so he's going to hurt them. Those kind of people are literally the epitome of pathetic, and like that's why he killed himself. He knew someone else would.
And it's like just fucked up that people also just some days snap.
But that's what I mean. Like even if he wasn't committing things like that all the time, it's still deep inside him.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, if my wife up and left me, I wouldn't fucking kill you.
Well, obviously, I'm not saying it wasn't deep inside him. That takes a very specific evil type of person.
It takes a very specific type of person that's been that way for a very long time and very
I'm just saying, the
up.
reason he probably managed to get to 56 is because up until that point, he had his wife, he had his children. So, yeah, he killed himself, so that's the end of the case. Like, there was no trial or anything. Like, he killed himself.
There's really no resolve, though, because, like I said, it ruins the entire Christmas. It ruins all of their friends' and family's entire year and entire, like, life in a way, because it's like there's no resolve, even if he killed himself. Those kind of people are just... I'm sorry if I got mad at this one.
It's just messed up.
I'm sorry if I got mad on the podcast.
I thought it would also be good to cover like this case that is probably one of the most horrific ones. Maybe we'll do something like paranormal or something next. But yeah, I wanted to start strong with this case.
That is truly chilling. When you said the part
horrific.
When he did the he said I'm killing people, help.
Yeah.
That does sound like he snapped, but at the same time it's like
help, I'm killing people. Like literally
I can see that as a snap, but it's like from someone with their shit together. You wouldn't snap like that.
I know, but all I'm saying is people do, and that's the scary thing, dude. Because people like me and you couldn't imagine that, but people, it's a thing. People snap, and it's like
I know.
People can show no signs, be like a fucking great person all their lives, and then one day snap, and that's honestly terrifying in a way to me because it's like, holy, like that's scary. That people can also just snap one day, like
yeah.
Because of events that happen in their lives or stress or triggers.
People out there aren't doing as good as you. Those kind of people will snap,
Scary, so. But that's pretty much it for this case, like I said, because like he did end up killing himself, so there's not really, like there wasn't a trial, there wasn't much else of an investigation. It was just kind of open and closed case. Shut case, but...
Man, I'm sorry, I feel like I don't have much to say,
of course,
just because it kind of made me mad.
Like I said, for certain episodes like this, you might not have a lot to say because it's just so like horrific and like catches people in shock. And that's what it is. It's shocking, and it's truly
that
chilling.
That is truly disturbingly chilling.
It's truly disturbing.
Truly disturbing.
We hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was definitely a really dark one.
Yeah, I liked it, though.
Yeah, we're going to be coming back next week with, I'm going to probably research something ghostly, I'm thinking. So stay tuned for that. It doesn't have to be
ghostly, though. But
well, maybe something paranormal or something.
What else could we do that's truly chilling?
We'll think about it.
We always do. I was just trying to make content for y'all. I was just trying to get her to release some of the ideas.
No.
Okay.
We will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for that episode, guys. Stay safe as always.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.